At a Senate Banking, Housing, and Urban Affairs Committee hearing on July 30th, Senator Cortez Masto asks David Cox, Vice President for IBM Research, some of the problems with AI today.
Some of the bias, some of the hallucinations. I'm more interested in how we know what's going to happen. How do we, say, for instance, put in place an auditing system to audit and catch that bias? Or how do we put controls in place to identify when a hallucination occurs? Those are the things that I think, as we look at guardrails or regulatory oversight, whatever you want to call it, to protect the data, I would ask your suggestions on that, something that we need to be thinking about in Congress.
Thanks for that question. That's a fantastic question. Like many things in technology having to do with responsible deployment, it's going to have multiple layers to a solution. So that's going to go all the way from where are we getting our data? Do we know where the data is coming from? Is the data correct and authoritative? To how do we develop agents? I think that it's a relatively new area of computing and engineering where we build agents that can interact, talk with each other, use tools, interact with software. And then there's a piece around governance tooling, like how do you actually track what's happening? Would you have a hope of being able to figure out what went wrong and retrace your steps? And then there's a lot of that's human processes. So we're seeing that emerge, and we're building tooling at IBM that allows us to empower those stakeholders to be tracking, to be auditing, to be monitoring for bias and drift, because just because when you tested a solution doesn't, when you built it doesn't mean it's going to be working the same way in the future, all the way back to the data. So it's really a multi-stage, multi-part strategy, and that's definitely emerging, and companies like IBM and others are building the tools to help anyone do that.
So in other words, you are building the tools that will allow other companies, other markets, whatever you want to call it, other industries to be able to incorporate those auditing tools, those control measures to ensure when they are utilizing an AI system that they're trying to guard against the bias or hallucinations or any other types of activity that are not going to really have an impact on the truth of that data and the outcomes that they are seeking. Is that correct?
That's correct. And there's two important things that you said. One is you said systems, it's not just the model, it's the whole software around the model. And then the other point there is that companies don't have to reinvent this and do this on their own. They can have trusted technology partners that help them achieve that.
For more clips like this, stay tuned to Congress Clips, and thanks for watching.